Hello, everybody. Welcome back into another edition of Prime Sports World. And today we got a twofer for you. We're bringing you a double dose of the crossover. First, the crossover, Prime Sports World. First, the crossover, presented by me and TJ Hopkins. And that's going to be Fantasy Football Weekly, followed by that show. Of course, if you're looking for consistent content on all your platforms, Prime Sports World is a pretty good place to hang out. We go live basically every single day, bringing you the most up-to-date content. And today on the crossover, we're going to be predicting the 2022-23 NBA season. This time, the Eastern Conference. Next Wednesday, we're going to do the Western Conference, and then next Saturday, right before the NBA gets really underway, we're going to predict who's going to win the championship, who's going to be winning them awards. So yeah, it's going to be an exciting time to be an NBA basketball fan. We finally got some preseason action back. Had some pretty good games last night. So yeah, NBA is officially back. So let's all get ready to enjoy it. I love the NBA, and so does TJ. Welcome to the show, TJ. What's up, man? How are you?
Tired as always.
I feel you, man. I feel you. I definitely feel you on this one. Let's talk about it. So Eastern Conference. Let's just do an overview before we get into our predictions about who's going to be the playoff teams and the outside looking in when it comes to the Eastern Conference.
Say that again.
Just give me an overview on the Eastern Conference real quick.
Oh, well, you already know the usual suspects are going to be at play. Milwaukee, Miami, Boston. Those are Philly. Those are the usual suspects. It's filling out spots like the rest of them, because I think the 4 teams I just listed, they're going to be there in some way, shape, or capacity, right? One through some way, that's going to be the top 4. Right, Milwaukee, Miami, Boston, Philly, some way, shape, or form. Wouldn't be surprised if Brooklyn put the top 4 seed. Wouldn't surprise me if, like the Bulls, Cleveland, Atlanta, there at some point they a top 4 seed in the East, and then some stuff happens, and then they still make the playoffs. I think
maybe
the real question,
maybe they make the playoffs.
Wait, when you say maybe, like who? Are you talking about a team in specific, or
we'll talk about it? Yeah, I think the Eastern Conference is interesting. Like it's a very interesting conference right now. I think there are a lot of really good teams in the Eastern Conference, and I think there are going to be teams that are good teams in the Eastern Conference that are going to end up missing the playoffs entirely, depending on your opinion of certain teams. Let's first of all talk about it. Let's shake up the Eastern Conference. Let's see how it's going to shake out. So yeah, I built this fun little graphic. Let's talk about who you have as the number 1 seed in the Eastern Conference. TJ, who do you got as your number 1 seed?
I think I got Milwaukee at number 1. They're healthy. They have the best player they have arguably the best player in the game, depending on who you talk to. Their coach is top 3 in the league. Their roster's deep. All that good stuff. Like they got it. They have a hell of a home court advantage. Is you name it, they got it. So Milwaukee just standing off. They're the number 1 team.
Can't agree with you more. I think Milwaukee. I think if Chris Middleton doesn't get injured in that game, in that series against the Bulls, and goes on to play the Boston Celtics, they win the title. We're talking about as a 2-time reigning champ. We're talking about Giannis. By the way, Giannis might be the most disrespected star in the history of the league. Like the fact that what he does on a nightly basis, the fact that all of these former players want to hate on him all the time, it just baffles me. Like he's been everything you want in a superstar.
Absolutely.
Like, I don't really understand why, especially former players that didn't accomplish a whole lot in the NBA, want to trash his game. Like, resume check, buddy. Like, I don't want to mention any names here on this show, but
Oh,
I
go
think
ahead, because you go ahead, because you are.
Gilbert Arenas, like, he was a very good basketball player in his time, but he just trashes Giannis all the time. And, like, I'm just like, dude, like, no offense, but like, you wish you had his career.
It's not it's not trash if what he's saying has some truth to it. Because there are still some holes in Giannis's game that he clearly needs to work on.
True.
You're 6'10", 6'11", you have very little to no post game. You have no mid-range game. And this is going on year 8, year 9 for you. These are things you should have already. Because
true, but like the fact that like his play style is just incredible. Like the fact that like his will to win,
right. Like his play style is incredible. Till the one day he can't go for 100 miles an hour and be a battering ramp and run people over. Right?
Maybe that day will never come.
Like Michael Jordan was a Skywalker until he really wasn't anymore. Same thing with Kobe Bryant. That's when you saw the mid range jump shot come into play.
I mean, but Giannis is just barely entering his prime. He for sure has time to work on all that stuff.
Here's the thing. We've been saying that for years. At some point in time, you got to do.
I mean, maybe this is as good as you're going to get, and like that's still better than most players' careers ever, right? Like maybe this is good as it's going to get. But I would settle for his career over, even Gilbert Arenas' career, who had a solid career, but nothing like Giannis's.
Well, injuries took their toll.
It's for sure, and the whole everything that happened at the end of that Wizards run, we're just not even going to talk about here. But that was a mess too.
Injuries took their toll. Like that was a real.
Gilbert Arenas was for sure on a trajectory where he was going to be like probably a Hall of Fame player. Like, he was that freaking good when he was in his prime. We got way sidetracked here. This is totally my fault. Let's move on to the second team in the Eastern Conference. I'm going to give you mine first. And actually, mine is the Philadelphia 76ers. I think they have a hungry Joel Embiid. I think you look at James Harden. I like the additions they made on the fringes of this roster. Look for Tyrese Maxey to take another step forward. If they can get anything out of Matthews Thybulle offensively, I think that's going to be a team that's really scary in the Eastern Conference. Give me the Philadelphia 76ers, my number 2 team in the Eastern Conference. I think they want it. They're hungry, especially Joel Embiid. I think he wants to win the title.
I don't disagree with that, but Thybulle is more than just 5 points a game. All right, I get it. You're there for defensive purposes, but at some point in time, when the game slows down and they're like quadruple teaming Joel Embiid and Tobias Harris is non-existent. Tyrese Maxey for whatever reason, and James Harden goes to a strip club the night before a game, and he can't hit the brick. He can't hit the ocean on the beach. You got to be able to knock down your shots. At some point, right? Like you gotta give them something. It's a two-way for a reason. But they do have a lot riding on this season. I can.
Oh, for sure, they do. I mean, Doc Rivers probably get fired if this season doesn't go well.
That's what's crazy. Like no one's talking about that. But like if everybody's talking about Brooklyn, if Brooklyn come up short, you gotta blow this thing up. If Philly come up short, do you know bitches are gonna be like coming to the 76ers if they don't make at least the conference final?
I agree. They haven't made it there yet. So, I mean, they've barely gotten out of the first round in a couple of these series. So, yeah, I think the definitely the pressure is going to be on this Philadelphia team to perform. Who do you have as your 2 seed in the Eastern Conference?
Miami. Right, it's like they are regular season specialists, like every single one of them, right? Their play style, like they are physical teams, so they can get away with a lot more than the average team can get away with. They have it's I guess it's more so the culture that they have down there. And they have a good home court advantage too, because again, it's Miami. Now teams probably have a rule like, hey, when you go to Miami, no going out the night before the game. But these are grown ass men with money. You are not gonna tell them
Yeah, I'm pretty sure grown ass men with money. Like I don't have no money, and I still do what I want. So
Exactly.
but yeah, I think yeah, we'll see where I have Miami when it's all said and done. But yeah, I think I think that there's the Tyler Hero contract extension is nice. At least you don't have that looming over you all season long. Yeah, Miami is for sure a really good regular season team. I think their problems just come when they are in the playoffs and they only have one player they can rely on every night. Offensively,
consistently, yeah, because like what's his name? Because Jimmy Butler just seems to elevate his play during the playoffs, which is what your star player is supposed to do. So Jimmy Butler averages about, what would you say, 21 in the regular season. He ups that.
I don't necessarily have. I don't have those numbers immediately in front of me.
It's about it's between 20.
It's considerable step up on his production when he plays.
When he goes to the playoff, he dumps that 20 to 22 to 26, 28. Right, and it's like, again, he'd be in conversations with Paul, like with LeBron and whatnot in the playoffs.
Yeah.
But Miami's my number 2 seed. I'm gonna kick it off with my number 3 seed, and I'm gonna say Philly. I'm gonna go ahead and add Philly to that number 3, which is not. I mean, like I feel like the top 4 they're interchangeable. All right, I have no issue with so if somebody came to me and said Milwaukee's gonna be the 4 seed. I can't fault you for that. Look what's around them.
Yeah, I do. I think that the Eastern Conference is for certainly top heavy, but I actually have the Brooklyn Nets as my number, my number 3 seed in the Eastern Conference. I think that they're going to try to just make this work for this season. I know there's a lot of collective, but there's still a lot of talent there, and I actually really like the stuff they did in the offseason to improve this roster, on the fringes. So I look for this season. I mean, TJ Warren's a guy who can really score. He's a proven scorer in this league. I like the addition of everything they've done this offseason. I think has been pretty smart and savvy. Getting Joe Harris back healthy as well. I think that's a pretty solid move. Ben Simmons is finally playing, which is probably one of the more interesting players in the NBA right now. See how he's going to look when he finally gets up to full speed.
Mm-hmm.
So yeah, I have the Brooklyn Nets as my 3 seed, and my number 4 seed is my number 4 seed is the Boston Celtics. I think that the Udoka stuff will be a semi-distraction, which is why I have them falling to the 4 seed. But I think they're too good to fall any further than this. Like they're going to be the 4 seed when it's all said and done. Give me Boston as the 4 seed. I just think there's too much talent there. I love what they did in the offseason. And I know Danilo Gallinari is not going to play this season, but getting Malcolm Brogdon for a pretty cheap price for them from the Indiana Pacers, give me Boston as my 4 seed.
I like your Brooklyn pick at, you got Brooklyn at 3?
3.
I got them at 4 because it's nice. Like again, the pieces are there, right? But it's the unpredictability of the point guard, right? It's the unpredictability of Kyrie Irving that literally, he's literally the reason last season went the way it went. Like he chased James Harden out of time. He wasn't playing. He just wasn't playing. He wants to be a martyr, but he's not sacrificing anything.
Yeah, for real.
Bro, and they brought this up on Undisputed the other day. Muhammad Ali lost basically the prime years of his career.
Yeah.
When he refused to go to Vietnam. Colin Kaepernick lost his career. Colin Kaepernick will never play a down in the NFL ever again. Right? Martin Luther King was thrown in jail for the stuff
and assassinated.
And killed for the stuff he believed in, bro. You still got your $30 million.
Yep.
Bro, so you're not a martyr. You're not this wise old anything, bro. You're not
ahead of the curve. You're not ahead of any of these trends. You're just a guy who plays basketball. You're sure you maybe have some insight and you do have some good points, maybe.
But if as long as Kevin Durant's there and Ben Simmons is there, I still think Brooklyn can be a nice team, and that nice team and that team in the 4th. But yeah, I got them at 4th, and then I got maybe Boston and Chicago at 5 and 6.
So 5 and 6. So you got Boston, and so you got the Nets at 4, and then you got Boston and Chicago at 5 and 6.
Yes.
So I guess you have Boston. You think the Udoka stuff is going to be more distracting than even I do?
Yeah, it's because I mean, like, winning cares off. Winning cares off, but every so often, like the time you lose, it how bad, like what the loss of I know Udoka. How's that for your team?
And I also think that putting this pressure on this coach to come off a team that was in the finals last season,
Absolutely.
now you have to take the reins to try to figure this out. I don't think that's an easy place to put somebody in by like any stretch of the imagination. Like I think it's tough.
It's very tough. It is very tough.
Yeah.
And
So
is he here? Is he here?
Oh yeah. My bad. I'm sorry, guys. Had to hop in and chime in. Real quick. I know TJ is like, hold on, what's going on here? Just before you guys had a good show. 1 through 5, 1 through 6 for me. I'm gonna go Brooklyn. I mean not Brooklyn. Godly. Milwaukee, Brooklyn,
Okay.
Milwaukee, Miami, Brooklyn. Those 3. Then 4, Philly. I don't know about Philly. This year. They probably real complete, but at the same time, it's gonna be real close between those top 4, those 2, 3, 4 seeds. Then you got Chicago and Indy. Well, not Chicago. Then I go Cleveland, Indy.
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 No, Chicago, Boston. I don't know how Boston's gonna react after losing their coach.
No one does
Okay.
really.
So, at 5, I have the Cleveland Cavaliers at 5. I am very high on this Donovan Mitchell pairing.
I got him at 7. I got 7
with Darius Garland, and I like that pairing along with Evan Mobley, who probably should have been the Rookie of the Year. I mean, with Jared Allen, I mean, this is a roster that's pretty damn complete. Karis LeVert starts with a 3 guard. I mean, this is a roster I think is really complete. If they can figure it out. I mean, they were the 5 seed before the wheels came off last season. They had a billion injuries. This is a Cavaliers team I think is going to be sneaky good. The 6th team I have is the Toronto Raptors. It's all based on the fact that I think Scottie Barnes is a really good player. He basically was off limits in a Kevin Durant trade. The Raptors could have Kevin Durant if they wanted to right now. If they just traded Scottie Barnes. And I think that, this is on the back of Nick Nurse. I think he's one of the top 5 coaches in the NBA. He's probably the best coach in the Eastern Conference right now, potentially. Outside of maybe Budenholzer. I think I would take Nick Nurse over everybody else in the Eastern Conference outside of Budenholzer.
I don't think I'd go that far, but
it's close, right? I got Toronto as my 6th seed. I just think that the elevation of that talent and Nick Nurse being an excellent coach, and look at the talent. Scottie Barnes is going to take another step up this season, I think.
Well, he kind of he has to.
Yeah, I mean, if he ends up regressing, makes that Kevin Durant trade look. The fact that they didn't refuse to pull the trigger on it looks bad. Like they could have him right now if they wanted to.
I had Cleveland at 7. Yeah, until we see the product on the court, like preseason stuff, like until they actually play a game that counts. Like until they play a game that counts, where the rotation is set and all that good stuff. It shows us Jared Allen, and like you have to worry about the injury history, especially with Jared Allen, because at some like if he get hurt, then you really have no rim protection.
It's true. I mean, they basically don't have a lot of depth now that they've traded away a lot of their young assets. But I just think that the Darius Garland and Donovan Mitchell thing is going to be, because they were offensively challenged last season a little bit. They're not going to be that. They're not going to be that case next season.
And now they're defensively challenged because that is the worst defensive backcourt in the NBA.
Yeah, it's true. For my 7th seed, I have the Miami Heat at 7. I think losing PJ Tucker and like not being able to replace him with anybody, I think is a bigger loss than people are letting on. Like this is a roster that's gotten older and not exactly younger or more depth. Like they haven't like Kyle Lowry's kind of a wild card of how many games he's actually going to play this season. Jimmy Butler's dealt with some injuries throughout his career. This is a Miami Heat team. This is a Miami Heat team that I think is going to forget about the 7th seed.
Disrespectful.
No, hey, no, David, no. I like your stance, but man, my gosh, man, I don't know, man. Miami's really talented, man. Jimmy Butler, one of the best two-way guards in the league. I don't think he'll be a 17. I don't think he'll let his team be a 17. Him, Bam, Tyler Hero off the bench. We'll see. But I think at the 7th seed, for me, it's got to be in between. I'm gonna go with like either New York or Atlanta. You know, after Toronto. Because I know I said, what did I say? I said Cleveland, Chicago, Boston, and Chicago, 5th, 6th, 7th. Man, 7th has got to be like Toronto or Atlanta.
It's tough. Real tough.
Yeah, I know, right?
A good team is going to miss the playoffs in both conferences this season. Like good.
And I think you see Charlotte. I think you see Charlotte again in the play-in game.
No way. We'll talk about Charlotte here in a minute.
You think so? You don't think so?
No, they're gonna no.
No play-in for the Charlotte Hornets.
No, not at all. Who do you guys have at 8? I have the Atlanta Hawks at 8. I think they're still outside of DeJounte Murray and Trae Young. This roster is just kind of okay. I think if the Trae Young, DeJounte Murray thing doesn't really work or they don't play well together.
Exactly.
I think that's going to be a problem. You got the Hawks at 8.
That's why I got Toronto at 8. Right? I just outside of Trae Young and DeJounte Murray, like I'm not losing sleep over Atlanta. Like outside of those two dudes, like Clint Capella is one-dimensional. All right, he's a hell of a glass eater, but unless it's a lob or a putback, he can't hurt me. All right, Bogdanovich might be a trade chip, for all you know. All right, Nate McMillan's essentially coaching for his job because you can't go from Eastern Conference Final to play-in, basically.
Mm-hmm.
In the season, so if you fall off again, that's something they got to consider. And again, you had all these pieces, and you haven't found a way to get them to mesh yet. Not to mention, they have a bit of an injury bug too. Like DeAndre Hunter was hurt. Missed a lot.
He has missed a lot of time in his NBA career, and they're kind of banking on him being good. Dwayne Dedmon also dealt with injury. Duncan Robinson was I'm on a different team, but this is my Hawk team that dealt with a lot of injuries. I mean, the backup center that they thought was going to be, Okongwu, he's been hurt. So it'll be interesting to see what happens with Atlanta. But yeah, I have them. I have them as the 8th seed in the Eastern Conference. You have the Toronto's at 8. Who do you guys have at 9?
Atlanta. Like they had to play it again.
So you guys may have noticed that I have left a team off of my top 8 teams.
Yeah, you disrespectful. You doing the Bulls dirty, bro. I knew you was gonna do it.
I have the Chicago Bulls at 9. I just think this Lonzo Ball injury is a big problem, and until I see him actually play on the floor. They're a 500 basketball team when he doesn't play. That will not be good enough to make the playoffs in the Eastern Conference. And I cannot guarantee that Lonzo Ball will play a game this season. Give me the Bulls are my 9th seed, and I think I don't have them out of the play-in. I mean, I guess I have the Bulls at 9. Like this is how I feel about it. I think they're. Oh my gosh! I don't really love the stuff they did in the offseason. I think Gordon Dragic he's old and washed up. Andre Drummond, I guess, is also washed up. If Lonzo Ball does not play and it's not appearing that he's going to play at least the beginning of the season, they're the 9th seed in the Eastern Conference.
So how does Lonzo Ball back? Like he's back. How does he still change the fact that according to Dragic is washed up? And
but you're replacing those minutes with Lonzo Ball, who's a better defender, a better shooter, a better playmaker. And like if he doesn't play, he's a big loss to lose. They were a 500 basketball team without him. 500. That's not good enough to get into the playoffs.
Okay, stop acting like it was just Lonzo Ball who was gone.
He's a big piece.
It wasn't just him. It wasn't just Lonzo that was out. Caruso. Lonzo was out. Caruso was out. Levine was hurt. Lonzo doesn't make or break this team, dude.
It does. It absolutely does.
Hey! I'll say this: if the Bulls are in the play-in, just try to miss the playoffs so we can try to get. I don't even know if we could get a lottery pick, but if we could,
we don't even own our pick next year. Don't talk.
Yeah, I know because of that hideous trade that we got for.
That trade it was a good deal. Vucevic made us put us in the
right?
We do not have DeMar DeRozan or Lonzo Ball on our roster right now if we don't make that Vucevic trade. So don't talk crazy for real. But yeah, the Bulls without Lonzo Ball, I have a real question marks about their defense, their offense, and their scoring. So Bulls are 9.
No, they're not. They are top. Like, bro, you do this every year. Like, you're just so negative. Like, why?
I'm realistic. Moving on.
Realistic.
I am for sure realistic.
No, you're not.
The Bulls last season without Lonzo Ball after he went down after the All-Star break, they were a 500 team. They couldn't beat any. They couldn't beat everybody. The Cavs got better. The Hawks got better. The Raptors probably when they developed their young players. This is they're going to be. The Nets are going to be better. The Bulls are going to be out of the playoffs.
So when Lonzo was out, was Caruso out too? Yes or no? It's a yes or no question.
Sure.
Yes. All right. So was when Lonzo was out, was Pat Williams out too? Yes or no? Yes. So when Lonzo was out, was Zach LaVine playing with a bum knee? Yes or no?
Yeah, he was.
Yeah. When Lonzo was out,
I also don't expect DeMar DeRozan to play like an MVP candidate again.
When Lonzo was out, was Derrick Jones Jr. dealing with the same wrist injury?
Stop it.
Yes.
Yeah. I'm telling when TJ's getting here. You talking about some stop.
In my opinion,
No. You talking about some stop it. Like when Derrick Jones Jr. was out, we had dudes like Tyler Johnson, not even Tyler Johnson, Tyler Cook, who's not even on the rock.
You're not wrong. You're not wrong. But this is my opinion. I'm allowed to have it. All right. I usually am wrong with this stuff, so maybe I'm wrong. But in my opinion, the Bulls are going to be the 9 seed.
Check it out. What about you're not factoring? And me and TJ kind of went back and forth about this like a week or two ago when the whole Lonzo thing came out, and I was like, "Yo, you guys aren't factoring like." If Ayo Dosunmu was gonna like take that next step, and TJ was like, "Yo, that's a big step to take."
That's a big step.
That's a big step to take. And I agree with TJ, but I think if he does take that step, I mean, he's not too far away from it. He's got to shoot close to 40% from 3. He's shooting mid-30s right now. If he can,
that is obviously the X factor when it comes to Chicago. It's obviously the X factor of this Bull season is the growth and development of Dosunmu and the health of Lonzo Ball. If those both go in a positive direction, they're like the 4 or 5 seed in the Eastern Conference. If that stuff doesn't pan out, they're going to be a playing team. Moving on from number 10. By the way, I'm sorry, Chicago Bulls fan, a little disrespectful there. The Knicks are my number 10 seed. I think just adding Jalen Brunson to this team does not make them a playoff team. They're going to be in the play-in. If they're lucky, they're the 10th seed in the Eastern Conference for me. TJ.
I don't see it. Like I don't see them doing any. They don't have that. They don't have that player that hey, get me a bucket.
They're hoping RJ Barrett's going to be that guy, but we'll see.
I mean, like RJ Barrett could be that player, like, but it's like, hey, it's winning, and he kind of showed it. I get it. It was one game. It was the Boston Celtics. He hit the game-winning shot, but it's like, I don't know, man. It's like, hey, give me a bucket. It's winning time. Give me a bucket. If Bradley Beal can stay healthy, emphasis on can stay healthy, I don't see how Washington's not in the play-in. Like, yes, I do.
Okay, cool. All right, don't worry about it. I just wanted to make sure because I have the next. That's the next. Like, it's a slide coming up. Number 11. Yeah, I think the Wizards. I think everybody at like 10 down. Like all of those teams in the Eastern Conference, I think are just kind of like there. Like for the Knicks and Detroit and the Magic and the Wizards and the Hornets and the Pacers. Like they're all just kind of there.
They're just
like,
there.
I get at least 10 through 14. Like I could see like 10 through 13. I think all 4 of those teams I have coming up here, they could all make the play-in. Like I think they're all in the running for that play-in spot. The Wizards, yeah, for sure. I mean, Porzingis, Bradley Beal, Kyle Kuzma. He had a really good season last year. I see him develop. I like the kid from Wisconsin that they drafted. Wizards could be an up-and-coming team for sure.
Johnny Davis,
Yeah. Who do you got at 11? TJ.
Yeah,
Or,
Johnny
Izzy, who do you
Davis.
have? Where is he? Who do you have at 9 and 10? Did you ever say who you had at
Who I
9
got
and
at
10?
10? You know what? No, 9 and 10. I don't have the Bulls. I'll tell you that right now. I had the Bulls at like the 5th seed. I'm gonna have to go at 9. I think I said. Was it? Did I say Atlanta? Not Atlanta, but I said. Yeah, we could say like Washington or or New York. Yeah, I could say New York is probably on the outside looking in, and then 10. Honestly, man, let's give Detroit some love because I think that team is going to show some good growth, especially at the guard position. With Cunningham, I think he's added some muscle this offseason. I think he's just going to grow and develop a little bit better. This year he's just gonna take that next step. You got the kid from Arizona that they just drafted. We don't know what he's gonna be, but he looks like he could be a good two-way player. And then Saddiq Bey, we talked about him previously. He's just a gym rat, so he's probably gonna take that next level.
That dude is just a walking bucket. Like he just scores at will.
Yeah, he's a walking bucket. So I gotta give Detroit some love. I think Detroit could be in that playing game. And then how many more years do we expect Orlando to keep sucking it up?
Well, we'll see.
Before they end up being good.
Everything you just said about Detroit, I think that's why I have them as my 11th seed in the Eastern Conference. I think they could be a fringe playoff team. I mean, all you got to do is get to 10. I think any of the teams that like Detroit, the Magic, and the Wizards and the Knicks are all going to be in the running for that final play-in spot. I think all 4 of those teams could potentially be a playoff team this season. I think they could go into the play-in game, probably lose to the Bulls or whoever you got at the 9th seed or whatever. Your however your shit shakes out. But yeah, I got the Detroit Pistons at 11.
I ain't got that much love in the world for Detroit. Ain't happening. I mean, like, are they improved? Yeah. Like, do they have a backcourt of the future? And Jay Ivey and Kay Cunningham? Yeah. But that's yeah. No, they're still.
Forgot about Jay Ivey too, TJ. Good point.
They
So who do you have at 11?
Like, you still on that? Who do I have? Like, probably Orlando, right? Because to Izzy's point, y'all got all this talent. Like Jonathan Isaacs has not played a game since he was 21 years old. He's like 24 now. Right? And it's like, and he can play chip. So it's you gotta see what he's worth. Like if he still has any kind of value.
I totally agree with you on that for damn sure. How about 12? 12. I have the Orlando Magic at 12. For the same reasons that CJ kind of talked about, I think that there's a lot of talent on this team. It's all about putting it together in one collective direction. And I like what they did this offseason. I think they're going to be we'll see what Paul Caro is. Give me the Magic at 12.
Yeah.
And who do you have at 12?
Yeah.
You have not said the Knicks yet. So
probably the Knicks.
Man, you know what? I'm gonna go. I'm not gonna disrespect LaMelo Ball like that. I think he's gonna take another step. I know losing Miles Bridges pretty much for the season. I don't know when is he done for the season? Is he like suspended indefinitely for the season?
Shit with that.
They haven't.
This is what's going to happen. If anybody actually signs him, which nobody will, they will deal with it.
That's when he gets. That's
I don't know what's going on with that situation. That's going to hurt. So I'm gonna put Charlotte at 11. I'm gonna put Orlando at 11 because they can't suck forever. And you got a decent team. Franz Wagner showed some real potential last year. Mo Bamba, they finally played him. He was almost kind of a 10-10 guy.
Yeah, he played well. He shot decent from the field too. Yeah, he was good.
And then you got the kid from Gonzaga that they drafted last year too. I think he could take a step, the next step, this season. So yeah, give me Orlando at 11. Give me Charlotte at 12, And then, give me, God, did I mention Indy earlier? What the hell was I thinking? They're probably the worst team in the Eastern Conference.
Especially if everybody expects some sort of Miles Turner Buddy Hield trade at some point.
Yeah.
They're going to be the worst team in the Eastern Conference. I have the Wizards at 13. It's not that I don't think that they have talent. I just don't know how healthy any of those guys are going to be from a consistent basis. Bradley Beal hasn't been the pinnacle of health in his career. Chris Porzingis for sure hasn't been the pinnacle of health throughout his career. But there is an opportunity there if the Wizards kind of hit lightning in a bottle that they could be a play-in team this season. But I'm not going to bank on that. I got them 13. I got the Wizards. TJ.
I don't care.
Hey, whoever's at 13, 14, just going to call up the whole G League team. They probably trade away like their stars and be like, yo, we're just trying to ramp up to get Scooter or Victor or something like that,
You saw the showcase last night. That's what the rest of these teams are playing for. So at 14, I got the Charlotte Hornets at 14. That Miles Bridges lost. He was a good player for them, and they didn't really replace him with anybody. I don't really understand what they were doing with their draft, where they traded away a draft pick from this year's draft. They won't be better next season. It's a real head scratching decision. I just think the Hornets are going to be going in the opposite direction. As much as I like the talent of LaMelo Ball, I just cannot put them higher than 14.
Yeah, I haven't said Charlotte or or Indy, and that's how it's gonna go. That's 14, 15.
And then 15, I got the Indiana Pacers as the worst team in the Eastern Conference. I think there's a Buddy Hield. I think there's going to be a Miles Turner trade here coming before the season, not before the season starts, but before the trade deadline. Neither of those guys will be on this roster because they won't be competitive at all. The Pacers are my worst team in the Eastern Conference. But let us know down in the comment section. Who do you think how do you think the Eastern Conference is going to shake out? This has been me and TJ's ranking. I did not know. I built this same template on both sides. I don't understand why yours are like this and mine are all nicely evenly spaced. I cannot fix it. So this is what we're going to go with. I'm just letting you know. I don't know why it's like this. But this is our Eastern Conference standing. Let us know what you think. Let me know if I'm being disrespectful, because apparently I'm being super disrespectful all the time here on this show lately. Especially when it comes to the crossover. Let's move on into the GOAT talk. If you're not familiar, we basically take two players that didn't get their shine while they were in the NBA, and we give them the opportunity to get their shine. This is also not going to be, those MJ, LeBron, Kobe conversations, because those are done to death. These are going to be the low-key fringe players that, people don't talk about enough of, and this is what this show is about. GOAT talk. Let's do it, baby.
All right, so player one, if I can pull it up. Yep. Player one's a dead giveaway. Player one is a dead giveaway. If y'all gonna get player one, I'm questioning. I am literally questioning all of your humanity. I swear to God, I am. So player one was a small forward, drafted in 2004, first round, 7th overall. He's drafted by Phoenix. Right, this is the giveaway. I swear to God, if y'all don't get this, this is the giveaway. Bulls, Cleveland, Miami, LA, Minnesota. Please tell me y'all know who this is.
One more time. Give me the teams again. Bulls, Cleveland,
Miami, Los Angeles, Minnesota. Please tell me you know who this is.
So it's Bulls, Cleveland, Los Angeles, Minnesota. So he never played for the Phoenix Suns after they drafted.
Never played for the Phoenix Suns.
Lakers, Minnesota, Bulls. So he only played for 5 teams: Bulls, Cleveland, Miami, Los Angeles, Minnesota.
Yes.
Is it Luol Deng? No, it's not Luol Deng. Yeah, it is. It is Luol Deng.
Yeah, that took you way too long.
Okay, all right. All right.
The rest of his stats: 2-time All-Star.
I don't even remember him playing for Minnesota. That must have been after he got his buyout or something.
Like 2-time All-Star. It's too late now. Already gave the first player away.
No, you can still pick between the two players. That's how it works.
Yeah, I know.
So, all right, Luol Deng, 2-time All-Star.
The fun is guessing the player, but
I know my favorite part too.
He was all the NBA All Defensive Second Team in 2012, All NBA, NBA All Rookie First Team 2005, Sportsmanship Award, National Freshman of the Year at Duke, third team All ACC, Parade All American, McDonald's All American, all that good stuff. 13,361 career points. That's 14.8 or 15 a game. 5,468 rebounds. That's 6.1 a game. And 2,042 assists. That's 2.3 assists a game. He has no gold medals or anything like that.
That's usually played like in Sudan for his national team.
But
Or no, he played on the was it British national team or
he played on the
France? No, I think it was
England. He played on the English.
Yeah.
He played on the English under 16 and under 19 team, and he was.
But he was from Sudan, right? Is that where like originally?
He was born in South Sudan, yeah. And he fled the country because it's a lot of civil conflict over there, so they had to get up out of there. But he has dual citizenship in Sudan and South Sudan and Britain, so he has citizenship over there. Obviously, like the accolades aren't there, but he was always known as one of the toughest dudes in the league, B, one of the best defenders in the league, because he's 6'9", and he had like a 7'3" wingspan. Like his arm, and we all know, like he was a staple for the Bulls for 10 years. Right? He was a staple for the Bulls for 10 years. Every coach loved him. He was basically untradeable till he got that spinal tap gone wrong.
Yeah, it's true.
And player 2 was drafted 11th overall in 1993 out of Tennessee.
All right, player 2. You said 1993.
11th overall, first round pick, 11th overall out of Tennessee. Selected by the Pistons. He played from 93 to 05. Oh, and Luol Deng's career was from, basically, it says 04 to 2019, but we really know his career ended at like 2017, really. Like when the Lakers just decided to, like, you know what, just go home. But back to player 2, he was a 2-guard. 6'6", 2-guard, played from 93 to 05, played for 2 teams, the Pistons and the Knicks. He's a 2-time All-Star. He's a 3rd-team All-American. 3rd-team he was like 3rd-team All-American for some other college publication. 3-time first-team All-SEC from 90 to 93. SEC All-Freshman Tournament. SEC Tournament MVP. His number is retired by the University of Tennessee. He's a McDonald's All-American in 98. Parade All-American in 89. Oh, no, take that back. McDonald's All-American in 89. Parade All-American in 89. And Kentucky, the entire state of Kentucky, Mr. Basketball in 1989. Career points, 14,551. That's 17.3 a game. 2,434. That's 2.9. 3 rebounds a game. And 1,990 assists. That's 2.4 assists a game. But he has 3 gold medals. One on the 2000 Sydney team, 1999 San Juan team, and he won gold with the under 18 championship. Under 18 Olympic team.
1993 to 2005.
Yep.
Played for only the Pistons and the Pistons and the Knicks.
Pistons and the Knicks.
2 gold medals.
3 gold medals, but 2 that really against like better competition.
Let me get. You got anything else? One more hint. Pistons and the Knicks. What, he drafted by the Pistons?
He was drafted by the Pistons, yeah.
Is he there? Is he got anything? Pistons to the Knicks. I don't think I'm gonna be able to get this without looking it up.
Is he trying to get back in, or?
No, he's 93 to 05. Hold on. Knicks. So how many seasons did he play for the Pistons?
93 to 96. Basically, like his first three, like the early part of his career.
It's not. Is this Allen Houston? No, he didn't.
It is Allen Houston.
It is?
Mm-hmm.
All right. Allen Houston. I feel like we had Allen Houston on a Go Talk. I think I picked Allen Houston on a Go Talk recently. Like whenever the one time I did that Go Talk. As much as it pains me to say this is Allen Houston. I don't think it's that close. I think Luol Deng was really important to those Bulls teams that were super relevant in the Eastern Conference, but Allen Houston was just a better basketball player.
He was a bucket.
Yeah, Allen Houston could just get
Allen Houston was a bucket.
And he gave it to you on both ends every single night. Like,
and it's just sad because like these are two dudes whose their careers got literally derailed by injuries. All right, like it sucks, it happens, but and they were both a two-time All-Star. Like, don't get me wrong, like Luol Deng was probably about it. Luol Deng was definitely the better defender of the two.
For sure.
And like I don't think that's really not close because
it's for sure not close.
Hey bro, like Luol Deng on a nightly basis, hey, you gotta guard LeBron, you gotta guard KD, you gotta guard Dwayne Wade, you gotta guard Kobe, and you gotta
but Allen Houston, I mean, he went toe to toe with Michael Jordan a few times in the playoffs.
Right.
But yeah, I think this is good. Yeah, he went to the finals twice.
Went to the finals
twice? No, once. So yeah, I give me Allen Houston as much as it pains me because I'm a super big Luol Deng fan. I have a Luol Deng jersey. I have a Luol Deng shirt. I loved Luol Deng while he was in Chicago, but Allen Houston was just another level when it comes to his talent in the NBA. Give me Allen Houston. Let us know down in the comment section who you got in the Go Talk. Luol Deng's career versus Allen Houston's. I think that's an interesting debate. And that's what the point of Go Talk is. But yeah, that's been predicting our 2022-23 NBA Eastern Conference edition. We're going to be doing the Western Conference edition where I'm going to be extra disrespectful on that show next week when we talk about the Western Conference. I'm David Huppin. Right there is Mr. TJ Hopkins. And TJ, what do we do here at the Prime, my friend?
We ain't disrespectful. That's for damn sure.
No, I think we're more disrespectful on this show than anywhere else in the world. We're like the most. At least I am. I can be savage on my NBA takes.
Yeah, you are just. You was raised so much better than that. Like,
hey, I defended it with real. Like, I know you wanted to comment, but I just think that this is. The Eastern Conference has gotten better, and I think the Bulls are going to get left behind. But yeah, I've been David Huppin. We're about to start the fantasy show, so do not turn that dial. I've been David Huppin right there. This is TJ Hopkins. We will see you guys tomorrow. We're going to be doing a really quick Games of the Week show. We're just going to do some music and some graphics, so keep an eye on that. I got something I got to do tomorrow, so I cannot run a full show. But yeah, David Huppin, TJ Hopkins. We'll see you guys tomorrow. Take it easy, bud.
Yeah.